please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand. Get it?
Oh shit, it's me again.
Mr. Sawit, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct?
I don't remember what voice I gave him. oh yes, newspapers, yes.
It's a good default.
Mr. Side, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Witness testimony.
Witness account. I was going door to door, selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in the apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. on the dot. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there.
Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? Can't defend you like that, especially in my head.
Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working?
Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building.
Are phones supposed to work during a blackout?
Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sawit used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal.
From noon to 6.
From noon to 6.
Now, Mr. Wright,
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
you may begin your cross-examination.
Cross-examination, Your Honor?
Bum bum. All right, right. Oh no.
All right, this is it, the real deal.
Oh man!
That's you.
Sorry. What am I supposed to do?
Why you expose the lies in the testimony the witness just gave?
Lies? What? He was lying?
Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty?
How do I prove he's not?
You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness testimony. Then, once you found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it against your face, and then rub it in the witness's face, and then rub it up in everybody's face.
Okay.
Open the court record with the R button. You remember the R button.
Yeah,
Then
the
point
one you
out
gave me in my
contradictions.
pocket.
Cross-examination.
Witness's account.
I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw him fleeing an apartment.
Okay, because he left the door half open behind him.
Let's see. Okay. Fleeing behind him.
Hold on. What do you do now? Okay.
Strange. Looked inside. Lying there, not moving, dead. Failed in fright, unable to go inside.
And that's the easiest contradiction, as he said, I was too afraid to go inside, and her phone wasn't working. He had to go inside to use the phone. So there's one.
Do I just select?
I don't know how to select anything.
Maybe it's this one. Oops.
Yeah. Press.
Yeah, maybe I should press him on this.
The phone. Okay.
Yes,
Sorry.
I mean, no, it wasn't, right?
But you said you didn't go into the apartment, or did you?
Oh, that I can explain that. There was a cordless phone on a shelf in the entranceway. I reached inside and tried using that to call.
And that phone wasn't working, correct? What happened next?
On a public phone. 1 p.m.
I believe it was the public phone.
Oops.
What's the blackout report real quick? Okay, just the building. I thought it was like a block.
Yeah.
Wait. When did she arrive?
The day before.
Time of death was 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. and he said 1 p.m.
Gonna present that shit.
You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure?
Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain.
Frankly, I find that hard to believe.
Frankly, I don't give a damn. And then he leaves. Game over.
Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death sometime after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap?
Is it trivial? The witness merely forgot the time.
After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Salt, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.?
Gee, that's a really good question.
Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one and their whole story falls apart.
Wait, I remember now.
Would you care to give your testimony again? Because, you know, we allow that here in this court of law. But no lying this time or there might be consequences.
We might be upset. In a legal way.
You see, when I found the body, I heard the time.
Heard the time?
I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it wasn't it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding.
I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Right. You know what to do. I've got this. Oh, sorry, that was you. My bad.
I've got this one.
You already know what it is.
Do I?
Yeah, it's the power was out from noon to 6.
Yes. Coming from the television. Huh?
Just gotta hit that R button, baby.
Give him that blackout record.
Hold it right there! The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it.
This is my Led Zeppelin 4.
Slam. You couldn't have heard you couldn't have heard a television or a video. Ha! I know how power works.
The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sart? I'm all ears.
No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Oh, wait, I remember now.
Mr. Sart, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning.
Okay.
But we'll give you one more chance.
One more.
These constant corrections are harming your credibility, I hope you know.
As is your constant sweating.
That and you seem rather distraught.
But my apologies, Your Honor. Yeah, it must have been the shock of finding the body.
Very well, Mr. Sart. Let's hear your testimony once more, please.
Good.
Hearing the time.
Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw.
How would he know that?
It's also not what was used. That's the other thing. They used the thinker, that heavy statue.
Unless that was also a clock. Statue and a clock.
Oh, I just skipped all my shit.
Easy thing to do. There it is.
Wait just a moment again. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock?
You with your objections and your evidence, just who do you think you are?
Just answer the question, Mr. Sawit.
I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, Mr. Payne.
As the witness stated, the statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies.
I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct the third time around. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with his testimony now? I feel like we should.
I would say yes, because how did he know it's the murder weapon?
How did he know it was a clock without tilting the fucking head, eh? Your Honor, there's a gaping hole in this witness's testimony, and I plan on filling it. The only way he could have known this weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified he never entered the apartment. Apartment! Clearly a contradiction.
Indeed.
The witness knew it was a clock because he
Went into the apartment.
went into the apartment. You're lying! You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder.
Oh yeah? Prove it! Prove I went in there!
I'll do better than that. I can prove you're the one who killed her.
You're
I
the
don't-
only one for her!
You're the only one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. It was the sound that was the sound you heard, damn it. I'm reading too fast.
Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. I'm having a great
Yes, Your
time.
Honor. Mr. Sawit, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind.
You think he would have held it by the neck?
Absolutely not. That's why you were so certain about the time.
What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture.
Baseless? Just look at the witness's face.
Let it go! Let it go!
Would the witness care to elaborate?
In a second.
Did you strike the victim with the clock? Tell me the truth now.
That day, I never. Look, the clock. I heard no. I mean, I saw it. Shut up! I hate you. It was him. I tell you. I saw. He killed her, and he should burn. Give him death.
Burn death.
Order in the court, I say.
Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims.
Mr. Wright,
Your Honor?
you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence?
The whole case is riding on this. I better think through it carefully out loud in my head. Your Honor. The sound Mr. Sawit heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply...
Use it?
Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I point at you.
May I keep it after the case is over? It's nice. Would
I ask
go
the
well.
court to listen very carefully. Beep. That's not me.
I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time.
Well, he is the thinker after all.
So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? You're the one who concludes things here in court, I believe.
Not the jury or me or fuck anybody.
It's always the defense.
Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now?
It's 11:25. Ow!
As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between when Mr. Sawit heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sawit, try to talk your way out of this one, because they're going to give you another chance.
Oh, you forgot one thing.
Uh-oh. What's he talking about now?
Well, it may seem like the clock is running 3 hours slow. It proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case.
He's right. How am I supposed to prove that? Damn it. It was so close.
Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim.
Yes, Your Honor.
This means I cannot let you indict the witness.
even though the witness just went fucking off.
Yeah.
You should burn, it was him!
Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sawit.
I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. You treat me like a criminal. A criminal! You lies are all slime.
Grr. I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now.